Ever tried reasoning with a screaming toddler in the middle of a crowded grocery store? Yeah, it doesn't work. Welcome to the Rising Parent Podcast. Today, we are diving deep into Stop Toddler Meltdowns, Gentle Parenting Strategies and Scripts. I'm Tim.
And I'm Edna. We're here to help you stop second-guessing yourself and handle those intense outbursts with confidence.
So grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's figure out what's actually going on in that tiny explosive brain of theirs. Now, let's get started. Well, Edna, it is that time again, the toddler years, the age of exploration, wonder, and absolute, unadulterated chaos over a broken graham cracker.
Oh my goodness, the broken cracker. It is a tragedy of epic proportions. You try to hand them the pieces, you try to put it back together like a puzzle, but it's too late. The meltdown has commenced.
It really has. And, we see this constantly in our coaching sessions. Parents come to us just utterly exhausted, saying, "Tim, Edna, I am trying so hard to be a gentle parent, but my 3-year-old is throwing things at my head because I gave them the red cup instead of the blue cup."
Exactly. And they feel like they're failing. But I always tell the families we work with, you are not failing. 2 to 5 is prime time for developmental boundary testing. It's supposed to be messy.
Absolutely. Before we get into the actual nitty-gritty of why they do this and the exact scripts you can use to survive it, just a quick, transparent reminder. We do use affiliate links in our show notes for the books and tools we recommend today. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it really helps support the show, so we appreciate it.
Yes, we love our resources. So let's talk about the toddler brain, because this is usually the biggest light bulb moment for parents in our coaching sessions.
Oh, for sure. The biggest mistake we see, and look, we've all been there, is trying to use logic during a tantrum.
Yes.
You try to explain, "Buddy, the blue cup is in the dishwasher. It's dirty. You can't drink out of a dirty cup." And we think, as rational adults, that the toddler is going to go, "Ah, yes, mother, my apologies. I hadn't realized the sanitation implications. The red cup will suffice."
Right. Excellent point, Father. Pour the juice, if only. But here's the reality. When a toddler is in a full-blown meltdown, their brain is literally incapable of processing logic. Their prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for reasoning, logic, and self-control, goes completely offline.
Yep, it is entirely shut down.
And instead, the amygdala takes over. That's the emotional center, the fight-or-flight alarm system. So to your toddler, that blue cup being in the dishwasher feels like a literal survival threat. Their body gets flooded with cortisol and adrenaline.
It's exactly that. I always tell parents, trying to reason with a toddler mid-tantrum is like trying to teach someone algebra while they are being chased by a bear. They can't hear you. They are just trying to survive the bear.
Oh, I love that analogy. It's so true. I remember a little boy we had in the daycare. Let's call him Mateo, just for privacy reasons, of course.
Oh, Mateo, yeah.
Mateo was incredibly bright, very verbal for a 3-year-old. But when it was time to transition from free play to circle time, if he wasn't finished building his block tower, he would absolutely lose it. He'd scream, kick, the whole 9 yards. And initially, his parents told us they were trying to explain the schedule to him. "Mateo, we have to go to circle time. We talked about this." And it would just escalate the screaming.
Because all those words were just noise to his amygdala. It just felt like pressure.
Exactly. So in the daycare, we realized we had to stop talking so much. When he escalated, we would just sit near him. We'd lower our physical level to be below his eye line, which is less threatening to an activated nervous system, and we'd introduce a visual anchor. We actually use these amazing sensory fidget tubes. You just flip them over, and the glitter slowly falls to the bottom.
Those tubes are magic, I swear.
They really are. We didn't even say anything at first. We just flipped the sensory fidget tubes and watched the glitter. And you could physically see Mateo's breathing start to slow down as his eyes tracked the movement. It gave his brain a second to reboot. Once he was calm, then we could say, "You were so mad we had to stop building. That was really hard."
And that's the key right there. You wait until the bear is gone before you start talking algebra.
Right.
But this leads us right into a massive pitfall that so many well-meaning parents fall into. We call it the validation trap.
Oof, the validation trap. This one is huge.
It is, because gentle parenting has become such a buzzword, which is great. We love the shift away from punitive parenting, but the messaging gets twisted. Parents hear, "You must validate your child's emotions." And somehow that translates into, "I must fix the problem so they aren't upset anymore," or "I have to let them do whatever they want as long as I validate their feelings."
Yes, I see you are angry that you can't hit your sister. Hitting is an expression of your big feelings. No, that's not it at all.
Exactly. Let's take a quick pause right here, though, because I really want to dig into how we actually escape that trap and give some real-world scripts. But before we get into the exact scripts, let's take a quick break. We want to remind everyone that new episodes of the Rising Parent podcast are released every Monday and Friday, so make sure you're subscribed so you never miss a show.
And as many of you know, we created this podcast not only to help families thrive, but also to raise funding for our nonprofit mobile food bank, Selfless Outreach.
Yes, absolutely. If you find value in this episode, or if our strategies have helped bring a little peace to your home, please consider donating to Selfless Outreach by going to selflessoutreach.org and hitting the donate button. Every single donation helps Selfless Outreach serve the underserved in our communities. We'll be sure to put a link to Selfless Outreach right there in the show notes for you.
We really appreciate your support. It means the world to us. Okay, so getting back to the validation trap, Tim, let's really break down what validation is and what it isn't.
Right. Validation is simply acknowledging the emotion. I see you are mad. It is not changing the boundary to make the emotion go away. You can be a gentle, responsive parent and still have incredibly firm boundaries. In fact, toddlers need firm boundaries to feel safe.
They crave them. They push against the boundary just to make sure it's strong enough to hold them. I was working with a family in one of our coaching sessions recently. We'll call them the Jenkins family for privacy reasons. And they had a 4-year-old daughter who was a brilliant negotiator. She would drag bedtime out for 2 hours.
Oh, the bedtime negotiations. One more water, one more book. My sock feels weird. I need to check on the dog.
Exactly. And the mom was exhausted, telling me, "Edna, I'm trying to be gentle. I tell her I know she's not tired. I validate that she wants to stay up, but she just keeps screaming for more books." And I had to tell her gently that she was stuck in the validation trap. She was validating, but she wasn't closing the door, metaphorically and literally.
Right. She was leaving room for the negotiation to continue.
Yes, so we worked on a script. Instead of, "I know you want another book, but it's late, okay?" which invites a response, the script became, "You really want another book. It is hard to stop reading. It is bedtime now. I am turning out the light."
Wow, notice the difference there, guys. It is bedtime now, period. No question mark at the end. No, okay?
And when the mom did this, of course, the daughter had a massive meltdown the first night because the boundaries suddenly didn't move.
Right. The toddler is like, wait, usually if I push here, the wall caves in. Why is the wall made of brick today?
Exactly. And the mom's job during that meltdown wasn't to give in, and it wasn't to talk her out of it. It was just to sit there calmly and say, "You are so mad. I am right here." And guess what? By night 3, the 2-hour bedtime battle was down to 15 minutes.
That is the magic of holding the boundary with empathy. And I want to get really specific here and give our listeners some practical scripts for different scenarios, especially aggressive toddler behavior, because that's the one that triggers parents the most.
Oh, absolutely. When your kid hauls off and smacks you right in the face, it is so hard not to react from your own fight or flight place.
It takes a lot of self-regulation on the parent's part. So if a toddler is hitting, biting, or throwing things at you, your first priority is physical safety. You don't need a long speech, you need a confident physical boundary.
The script I love for this is so simple. I won't let you hit. I am going to move my body.
Yes, let's break that down. I won't let you hit. It's an active statement. You aren't saying, please don't hit me. You aren't asking a question. You are stating a fact. And if they swing again, you gently catch their hand or you physically move yourself away.
Right, because you can't control their body, but you can control yours. We had a family we worked with, let's call the mom Sarah for privacy reasons. Her son was a biter, and Sarah was so stressed, she was doing timeout, she was yelling, she was explaining germ theory to a 2.5-year-old.
Oh no, back to the algebra during a bear attack.
Exactly. So we stripped it all back. We told her, the next time he goes to bite, put your hand gently on his forehead to keep his mouth away and just say, I won't let you bite. Biting hurts. If you need to bite, you can bite this teether.
Offering the alternative is huge.
It is. It acknowledges the physical urge because biting is often a sensory or frustration release, but redirects it to a safe boundary. It took a few weeks of total consistency, but the biting stopped because he learned the boundary was impassable, but his mother wasn't going to pull her love away just because he had an impulse.
That's beautiful. And you know, another major trigger for meltdowns is transitions, leaving the park, turning off the TV, leaving a play date.
Oh, transitions are the absolute hardest.
For transitions, one of the best tools you can have in your toolkit is a visual timer. In our coaching sessions, we constantly recommend the time timer. It's this fantastic clock where a red disc slowly disappears as time elapses, so the toddler can literally see time running out.
The time timer is an absolute game changer because toddlers have no concept of time. When you say 5 minutes, you might as well be saying 5 purple elephants. It means nothing to them.
Exactly. So instead of saying, we're leaving in 5 minutes, you set the time timer and say, when the red is all gone, it's time to leave the park. You're offloading the role of the bad guy to the clock.
I love that. The clock says it's time. It's not mom being mean. It's just the objective reality of the clock.
But even with the clock, you will still sometimes get a meltdown. So here is the script for when it's time to leave and they drop to the floor like a sack of potatoes.
Ah, the dead weight toddler maneuver, a classic.
Right. You say, you wanted to stay at the park. It is so hard to leave when we are having fun. Validate. Then, it is time to go home now. Do you want to walk to the car or do you want me to carry you?
Offering a choice. I love that.
Yes, it gives them a tiny bit of autonomy back when they feel totally out of control. But notice, both choices result in leaving the park. Staying is not on the menu.
And what if they scream, no, neither?
Then you make the choice for them with confidence. I see you're having a hard time choosing. I will help your body to the car. And then you pick them up calmly but firmly and you leave.
That phrase, I will help your body, is so powerful. It frames you as their helper, not their adversary. You aren't dragging them away as a punishment. You are helping them through a transition they don't have the skills to navigate themselves yet.
Exactly. It totally shifts your own mindset as a parent, too, because half the battle of stopping a toddler meltdown is actually managing our own internal meltdown.
Oh, isn't that the truth? When they start screaming, our own amygdala flares up. Our chest gets tight, our heart races, we feel judged if we are in public.
Oh yeah, the invisible audience at Target.
The target audience, yes. You just want them to be quiet so people stop staring. And that's usually when we resort to threats or bribes. If you stop crying, I'll buy you a toy, which of course just reinforces the tantrum.
Right. So the first step of any of these scripts is actually a script for the parent. Before you address the child, you have to talk to yourself. Take a deep breath and tell yourself, this is not an emergency. My child is not giving me a hard time. My child is having a hard time.
My child is having a hard time. That changes everything. It moves you from anger to compassion.
And another thing we teach families is to be proactive outside of the tantrum moments. You can't teach a child about emotions while they are screaming. You have to do it when they are calm and happy.
Yes, emotional literacy is a learned skill, and we have a favorite resource for this that we recommend constantly. It's the A Little Spot of Emotion box set.
Oh, I love those books.
They are fantastic. The A Little Spot of Emotion box set takes these big abstract feelings like anger, anxiety, and sadness and turns them into little colorful characters. We had a coaching family, we'll call them the Wilsons for privacy reasons, who started reading these books every night before bed. And after a few weeks, their 3-year-old started saying, "Mommy, my angry spot is getting really big," instead of just throwing a toy.
Wow, that is massive progress.
It was incredible because they gave him the vocabulary when he was calm, so when he felt his body starting to escalate, he had words for it.
That is such a pro tip right there. Build the foundation when the sun is shining so you have a roof when it storms.
Exactly. And remember, parents, progress is not linear. You're going to use these scripts, you're going to hold the boundary, and your toddler might still thrash on the floor for 20 minutes. That doesn't mean the script failed.
That is such a vital point, Edna. A successful, gentle parenting moment does not always look like a quiet, compliant child. Sometimes success looks like a child having a massive, messy release of emotion while you remain a calm, sturdy captain of the ship.
The sturdy captain, I love that. You are their safe harbor. If you get swept up in the storm with them, they have nothing to hold on to.
Precisely. So let's recap the key takeaways from today because we covered a lot of ground. Number 1, logic fails during a tantrum. Your toddler's brain is in fight or flight mode. Stop trying to reason, minimize your words, and focus on physical safety and calming the nervous system first.
Right. Number 2, avoid the validation trap. Validating an emotion, saying, "I see you're angry," is not the same as giving in to their demand. You can and must hold the boundary while allowing the feeling.
And number 3, use simple, confident scripts. I won't let you hit, I am moving my body. Or, it is time to leave, I will help your body to the car. Keep it brief, keep it firm, and keep it compassionate.
And finally, give yourself some grace. Parenting toddlers is exhausting work. You are going to lose your cool sometimes, and that's okay. You can always repair with your child later. Mommy yelled earlier because she was frustrated. "I'm sorry, I'm working on taking deep breaths." That models accountability for them.
Absolutely. Modeling that imperfection and repair is arguably the most valuable lesson of all. Well, guys, that wraps up our deep dive into toddler meltdowns today. We really hope these scripts give you a bit more confidence the next time the blue cup goes into the dishwasher.
Yes, you've got this, parents. Stay sturdy.
If you found today's episode helpful, please hit that subscribe button right now. And do us a huge favor, leave us a 5-star review on whatever platform you're listening on. It really helps the show grow and reach more families who might need this support. Also, be sure to visit our website at risingparent.org.
And don't forget, we release new episodes of the Rising Parent podcast every Monday and Friday, so we will be right back here in your ears very soon.
Also, as a quick reminder, we created this podcast to help families and to raise funding for our nonprofit mobile food bank, Selfless Outreach. If you found value in this episode, please consider donating to Selfless Outreach by going to selflessoutreach.org and hitting the donate button. Every single donation helps Selfless Outreach serve the underserved in our communities. The link to Selfless Outreach will be right there in the show notes.
Thank you all so much for listening, for your support, and for doing the hard work of raising the next generation. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Keep rising.